is a warning. The Pinellas podcast features videos and audio content from the internet and live in-studio guests. While most of the content is family-friendly and approved for all audiences, we cannot guarantee the show to be rated G at all times. So please proceed with caution. Now, we welcome you to sit back and enjoy the show. It's time for the Pinellas podcast live.
All right, now, episode 3000 of the live. I just made that
51
number up.
in the description, actually. Okay. So
I saw that and I was like, yeah, it probably is 151, but I just wanted to kind of jack it up a little bit. Thank you all for the messages and everything. And again, you know, we started this live thing because everybody was like, hey, can we see like the behind the scenes of the Pinellas podcast? And we're like, sure. But instead of, you know, like most people, they'll record a long podcast and put it out. Like, let's just show people live. And even better, let's invite people to come on and make this super interactive kind of open mic, right? Like you can just jump on. The link is right there. Maybe you got a business to promote. Maybe you got a gripe. Maybe you got something you want to highlight. I mean, you know, it could be kind of anything, right?
yeah. Now we're a few episodes obviously in, and we haven't had it. We put the link. In fact, you know what? I'm going to drop the link again in the comments for everybody as the first comment, because you can click that link and you can be on the show.
Yeah, a couple of and we got a bunch of guests lined up today, and I believe, God, I don't want to jinx it. Should I jinx it? No, I probably shouldn't. I don't want to jinx it. But we've got a lot of good guests lined up today, so we're going to try to rip through them pretty quick. But I will say this is probably the biggest announcement that we wanted to make, and this is 100% lock it down confirmed. We are doing basically our insane NFL TV giveaway. This is happening.
I can't believe we put this together at all, actually, but in such short notice anyway. This is going to be phenomenal.
The Game Day TV giveaway at Guilty Sea Sports Pub, November the 16th. It's the Bucks and Bills at 1 o'clock. Going to be a big game, especially after last night, right? So we got to, as you get into November, you got to start stacking some wins. But we're going to give away 5 smart TVs. That's compliments of our boy, Mr. Gadget. We're going to give away 5 of these TVs. Now, listen, if it were up to me, I would have been like, yeah, let's Amazon, you know, a couple of 40-inch TVs, whatever. Mr. Gadget's like, nah, dude, we're doing the smart TVs. We're doing the AI integration. So the live podcast is going to start at 11 a.m. November the 16th. There is an event page that we've pinned to the top of our Facebook page. So wherever you're watching, you want to go over to the Facebook page and just check if you're interested. If you're coming, there's probably going to be a separate contest for those of you that do that and show up. So I'm just throwing that out there right now. But that's going to be a great event at Guilty Sea, which is one of the best places in Pinellas to watch games. TVs everywhere. The drink specials are going to be unbelievable. Here's some of the drink specials now. So their $3 beer of the month will be there. The $4 Miller Lite aluminum bottle. The $10 pitchers, a bunch of shot specials, boneless wings, and then bone-in wing platters too. So,
dude, 20 wings, $30. You kidding me? That's not even $1.50 a wing.
That's what I'm saying, man. And it's a football Sunday, so we're gonna have it covered there. So 11 o'clock, you've got to sign up for the TVs by 1, and then at halftime we will give away. Those 5 smart TVs, compliments of our boy, Mr. Gadget. So
yeah, that's incredible.
Excited about that.
You could walk down to the restaurant there and walk away. Well, you won't walk away with a 50-inch TV. You're gonna need a truck or some sort of a large vehicle.
Somebody said to me, like, yeah, so you're giving away 5 55-inch smart TVs. Like, what happens if people show up in like a 2-door? I'm like, well, that's easy. You're going to have to order one of those Ubers, like the XL, and they're going to have to just take it to your house. I mean,
even better, you can be this guy with putting your hand on the roof, holding the holding the TV down the street.
Everybody's seen that guy.
Yeah,
everybody's seen that guy. So again, the event is pinned to the top of the Facebook page of Guilty Sea. It is going to be an awesome time. The podcast will be out there live for 2 hours. So we want people to come out to jump on with us, talk football, talk beer, talk wings, talk whatever. But we're trying to get out there and really make this kind of an in-your-face, fun event. And again, Bucks Bills. So I mean, it's just going to be a great game. So
yeah, it'll be a good chance to meet everybody because then we get a lot of requests and a lot of message requests, and we try to feed through them through Facebook. It's insane, bro. But we try to get as much as we can to say hi or whatever. But if you'd like to come out, so you can see us do the podcast live, you could be on the podcast. We're the only podcast I checked because last week we did mention that I think we're the only podcast that just lets random people come on, and so we'll just let random people come on in the bar. Probably, maybe we should be on a delay down there because alcohol and football. Not sure.
It's
kind
the
of language
thing about like not being in our radio era anymore in our radio days is it just really doesn't matter. And so we can have that off our plate, so that's going to be cool. Greg is watching. What's up, Greg? Byron is watching. What's up, Byron?
He's listening from Naperville, Illinois, right in the Chicago area, man. That's big.
Damn, he's a snowbird. He'll be down in a few weeks. It's got to be getting cold up there by now.
Oh my God. The leaves are changing, I'm sure. They wake up and you get in your car. I mean, not down here, but in your car, you're free. It's like 7 degrees. And if you have leather seats, it's like sitting on an icicle.
No, I can't do it. Let's see. We wanted to talk to, and there he is, Jerry from J&M Bee Farm. Let's jump to him real quick.
Whoa, look, he's in the bee stuff already.
Jerry, you're not messing around, dude. When you said you were coming on, this is legit. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, sir. How are you guys?
Doing good, man. Listen, you and your wife have such a cool business. And by the way, part of the reason that we started this podcast, obviously, was to really highlight family businesses, specifically husband and wife team and stuff like that. And of course, we'll talk about other businesses, but I really like this dynamic. You're in the suit right now. I mean, are you actually are there bees flying? I think I see bees flying around you.
Yes, sir. So we're actually, we own Bel Air Property Maintenance and Landscaping as well. So we're getting ready to take this community over. And one of the services we offer is bee removals. So none of the bees get sprayed. So these bees were in the tree. They were starting to bother some of the homeowners. And we came in and we put a trap out a few days ago. And
well, now what is a bee trap? What is that? Just a funnel with a whole, like a pretend nest? It looks like a shoebox, really.
Yeah. So that's the box that the bees go in. There's frames inside there. We put some food sources, some queen pheromones to attract them in. So the cone is so the bees can come out, but their GPS won't let them go back in the hole. So once they realize there's no more resources going inside, they'll actually start using the box. Then they'll call the queen out and then they'll go to the box.
That's crazy. So they'll go in there and then do they kind of give like the queen, like, hey, it's safe to come in here now? They sort of check it out ahead of time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they send scouts out. So the scouts will go find the area where they want to go, and they'll tell her where to go.
Now, can you get stung through that suit? Sorry.
Yes, sir. I get stung quite a bit.
yeah, I'm out on that, bro. I'm not. That's too much for me.
At what point in your life did you wake up and say, I want to hang out with bees and get stung? I mean, this is, this takes a special kind of person, right, Jared? No, put the mask on, man. You're giving me anxiety.
God, aren't those yellow jackets?
What's that?
Aren't those yellow jackets?
No, these are honeybees.
Oh, those are honeybees. All right.
Yep, honeybees.
Thing.
What is the most times you've been stung in one outing, Jer?
Probably 10, 12 times.
There's no way, bro. That's too much. I can't even get stung once. I start crying like a child.
I will say it's important work. I mean, if I've done some minimal research, but the honeybees are disappearing. It's important, what you guys do. And I know part of what you do is move bees, you and your wife move bees to safe locations. Which is great. The other side of it is I know you guys have a honey stand, and there's a lot of benefits to honey, but talk about that, where it is, how people can get your product. Cause it's probably one of the more unknown things when it comes to like health is raw honey is really good.
Yes, sir. So we have a honey stand at our house. It's an honor system. All of our products are out there. Just walk up, put the cash in the box, or you can Zelle and take what you want. It's 18. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's at 1841 Patland Circle South in Largo.
Okay, we'll throw that in the comments and the live when people go back to rewatch it. You guys have posted something else, and by the way, it's J&M Bee Farms on Facebook. If you guys want to go, give them a like and a follow and see what they're doing. You guys had posted a few days ago, I think, but it was the actual honeycomb, right? And I didn't realize,
yes, sir.
It looked like that. I mean, it looked like a dessert. I mean, it looked great.
Yes, it's really, really good. A lot of people like to eat it. They can chew on the wax. It's got a lot of health benefits to it.
Wow. Yeah, that's here's what I think of when I think of bees, though.
Bees! Bees! Bees
That's the classic. It takes a special kind of Gary. Before I let you go, because like I said, you guys got a great business, husband and wife business, J&M Bee Farms.
We appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you guys and what you do for the community. But who is more scared of the bees? Is it you or is it your wife?
At the beginning, I was terrified of them. I'll be 100% honest with you. I was petrified of them. And after Monia's father passed away, her and her brother were pulling honey, and I walked outside, and there was just a cloud of bees I was in. And I just sat there, and it was very, very therapeutic. Like, it was overwhelming.
What's the worst bee to be stung by, Jer?
Honeybees or yellow jackets are bad. Yeah. I mean, it hurts, but what can you do? It's part of the job.
Part of the job. Jerry, I really appreciate it. J&M Bee Farms on Facebook, and then they've got the honey stand, which is an honor system. Really cool thing. I was telling the families the other day, take your kids out, show them like, hey, this is a family business with an honor system component, which you don't see anymore, and teach your kids about the importance of, protecting the environment, protecting nature, and then, utilizing an honor system in there. So really great.
Yeah. There's definitely still good people out in the world.
Yeah. And we got to remind people that too. We definitely have to remind people that from time to time. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, Jerry, I appreciate you.
One more thing, yep. If we could, we'll be at DK Farms this weekend. And then also we're going to be at the Bel Air Wine Walk. So we're going to have a tent up and come sample some honey wine.
Do me a favor, Jerry, when we jump off, when you get out of the bee suit, shoot me an email with that so we can promote that this weekend. All right.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Jerry. Take good care, buddy.
You too.
All right. Thank you.
Wow.
That was cool. So when we were lining up the guests, Jerry's wife was like, I'm a little tied up, but Jerry will come on. But I had no idea Jerry was going to come on.
In the bee suit.
In the field, in the suit. That's awesome. Support their honey stand. They really have great products. So I think it's really cool. All right, let's jump to where are we going next? Do we have Jessica? Is Jessica here?
Yes, I am. How y'all doing?
Jessica, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Doing good. So Jessica is part of a group. It is the Mamas of Palm Harbor / Dunedin official volleyballers. I got to take a break. That's a long. But
I'm saying we're cool. We're cool. We're just not cool enough to be official. So
no, I like that.
Unofficials.
Yeah, you never want to be too official because then people like, oh, they're elitist. They're so official.
Yeah, and then people too scared to join us on the sand. So
real quick, I was on your Facebook page. You guys look pretty cool. But real quick, we just have a couple of minutes. Tell people like why did you start the group and what exactly is the group all about?
So it's just a bunch of us moms just trying to get together. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get back to ourselves, even if it is just for 1 hour a day. Every Wednesday we join on the sand at Sunderman Complex. A lot of people know that area for the little ball league field that we got going over there. Every Wednesday, 6 to 7, we have our first Halloween event coming up. I've got an awesome, I could just show it real quick just to give props to the man who made the winning trophy.
Look at that.
It's one of our obnoxiously large chains, so the team doesn't know about it until they
look like Flavor Flav with that thing on.
Exactly. That's the vibe we were going for. So, it's just a bunch of us trying to get back to being ourselves, even if it is for 1 hour a day after being boss moms or hard-ass workers. Sometimes we just need to forget all that, put it to the side, and just remember who we were before we became moms.
Yeah, I like the spirit of that. You said on your Facebook page, you guys drop the F-bomb all the time.
Oh, yeah. It's a key component. You've got to be flagrant in order to be on the sand with us. because, you know, sometimes it's nice to talk about Bluey and it's nice to talk about the ABCs and all that other good stuff, but it's nice to sometimes drop a little F-bomb and feel yourself again. So.
All right.
I like it. All right. Well, listen, we'll do more stuff with you guys. I actually think maybe we should line up like maybe some type of volleyball challenge with a group of people. Maybe.
Oh,
yeah. Something.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Maybe like with a charity or something, so we can say we've done something good.
We most certainly would love doing that. We're big into socializing, business networking. We've got a lot of moms that have their side hustles, and I know there's not a lot of time on your segment, but we would be more than happy to work through a couple of more, you know, opportunities with you guys, considering the reach that you guys have. We love it.
No, that's great. My oldest daughter plays volleyball at her high school. Maybe we could line up the high school team to get together with you guys and do something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Man. They might embarrass us.
I don't.
Nothing like spiking on a high schooler and giving a big
I know.
you,
Bunch of 30, 40
bro.
Old women over here just trying to get us competing with these teams, but we'll take it. We accept any challenge. We'd love it, man. That would be awesome.
All right. Well, do you want to drop an F-bomb before we go, or
yeah, fuck it. Why not? It already happened.
There you go.
Thanks so much for the opportunity, though, guys. We appreciate it.
You're a lot of fun. We'll definitely do some more stuff. Thank you for coming on.
Definitely.
Appreciate you.
Likewise. God bless. Have a good one.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty
My kind of girl right there.
Drops an F-bomb and then says a prayer for us. I like this style, man.
You don't get that all the time.
Let's get to the man of the hour. Mike's weather. There's the MVP right there. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, man, I'm glad to finally be on your little show here, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you very much. I know we've been trying to line something up, and I guess maybe it's just, I don't know, the tropic gods, now that we have Melissa's here, and then I was able to kind of connect with you. But real quick, you know, man, I always say you were kind of one of the original guys way back in, were you 03, 04, somewhere there?
Yeah, 04. It was when we had all those storms coming to Tampa, and it was hard to find information, you know, and that's kind of how it all began, just looking for spaghetti models.
Yeah. I don't want to make you tell the story, because every time you're on like a big national thing, they make you tell the story and everything. But I will say, so Billy and I were working at a radio station in Indianapolis, and it was that season where it was just every other week there was a storm heading to Florida. And at the time, Billy was married with kids. I was a single guy, and the radio station said, "Hey, Mark, we're going to send you to chase the storms." What I'm thinking is, I have no wife, I have no kids, I'm expendable. So they chase me down. They send me down here, and I think we chased 2 storms. I think we were here for a week, and I'm calling the radio station people, and I'm like, "Hey, there's this guy Mike on social media," and I was like, "I'm just telling you guys, you got to get a hold of this guy." Like it's you know, and I just thought back then, I remember telling people, this guy's really onto something. I mean, I think you were one of the original guys that grabbed a phone, grabbed a camera, and just talked about what you were passionate about. And I'm so glad you stuck with it, man.
Well, thanks. I can't even remember what possessed me to do that. Like, I mean, I remember when Facebook Live started, that's kind of where it really got big. I think it was Matthew, you know, and in the early days, I didn't have my photo up there. It was just like this weird voice coming across your screen, you know?
Yep.
And it just was weird. I mean, I didn't really know what I was talking about back then. I'll be honest. I was just looking at stuff like everybody else, you know, and thinking back, I probably sounded pretty silly to real meteorologists back then, but it's.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you go to a meteorology school, or are you just a lover of weather?
No, it's a funny thing you asked. I mean, I went to school for marketing, business, and no meteorology formal training. Everything's self-taught. I mean, I will say I can run with the best of them now. I mean, you know, I've learned a lot. I think, you know, it's a piece of paper versus, you know, I mean, it's like I'm old enough now that people are like, "Why don't you go back and get it?" I'm like, why should I? I don't want to go through calculus.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting you say that, because when I went to the, you know, kind of the corporate radio people, when I got back to Indianapolis, which was there, and I was telling them about you, I was like, you guys got to work something out with this guy when there's weather events, and their big thing, you know, they're all in suits and everything, you know, kind of the vibe there, Mike. Yeah. They were like, "Well, he's not a meteorologist," and I said, "Guys, the world is changing. We're connected and everything." And I have friends in TV weather, and I would ask them, I would say, you know, talk to me about Mike. I mean, he's amassing a huge, passionate audience. You have a great connection with your audience. And they said, "Listen, let me be straight with you. He's got access to the same information we do. he's just very, very good at communicating it. And I think that was very nice of meteorologists to say,
Yeah.
because it really gives you some credibility. And when I was here for Irma and just watching you I think it was probably the 4 to 6 days leading up, and there was something that hurricane sense kicked in, and just watching you, and you were working hard and you were exhausted. You were kind of losing your voice. And I'm like, this guy is really, you were, talk about Irma, because for me and a lot of people here, that was the biggest thing in a while. Do you kind of remember going through all the emotions there?
Oh, heck yeah. No, that was the big one for us, because it didn't do what it was supposed to do. Originally, it was supposed to curve off the Atlantic coastline, and it was tracking farther west. And at the time, I just had a hunch that we were going to see this thing bounce a little farther off to the west, So they evacuated the East Coast. And then, oh my God, we started evacuating the West Coast, and somewhere along the line, I must have said something about these ensembles, how they were trending to the West Coast, So yeah, the whole state was watching that storm. And I think that storm taught us too, that everybody evacuated. Nobody knew what they were doing. Like, everybody just took off, running out of gas. Nobody knew what to do with their pets. It was like hysteria, that was our first storm of panic. And it just worked out that I was, there. Very few people were doing what I was doing back then. I'd like to think I kind of set the standard a little bit, with this, now everybody's doing what I'm doing, and it's kind of frustrating me this year, because everybody's sharing the same stuff, and they're all kind of like, we don't know. Like, I'm joking, everybody's become model readers. Like, no offense to anybody online or TV, but all we're doing is telling you what the GFS and Euro is doing without any sort of input or forecasting anymore. And it just drives me crazy. We could all be model readers,
Yeah.
When you started, Mike, are you surprised when you look at your Facebook page, you see 2.4 million people? Did you ever think you would amass that sort of following?
No. The funniest and the truest story is, everybody knows I like to go to Chili's, and there's no secret there. I like to have a good time.
Who doesn't?
I work hard, play hard. Some people don't like the fact I have a beer, but there's a lot of Americans that drink a beer too, But I was at Chili's one night, and I was at 4,999, and the bartender girl, I'll never forget, man, I was so excited. I'm like, hey, you got to go like my page. It was 5,000. I was like, man, I shared that all across the internet. Man, we hit 5,000, man,
Oh my goodness.
Jeez.
So yeah, it's surreal now. It's just nuts. Like, wherever we go, we were in Talladega this weekend. It's scary, the power of social media and the people that watch it. Like, I'll mention something an hour into my little show, and somebody will be like, oh, Sarah, we heard you were singing Freebird at Whiskey Wings the other night. I'm like, I said that at like 55 minutes into the broadcast. And
off the cuff, even, really. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and this is. I think, and I'm thinking a lot about AI, and what you guys do, Mark. People are going to be wanting personal human connections, like, and that's going to drive what we do even more,
Well, I think that's one of the things that you do so well, is you were able to pivot and also now talk about your family, your personal life. And I think that was very, very smart of you. And I don't think it was like your strategy. I just think you authentically love your family and love the life that you're living. And so that's why it's coming off so well. And believe it or not, a lot of people in the media, they struggle with that, but you do that. I love your pictures holding a beer with your buddies. I love the pictures with your wife, with your daughter, with camping and everything. Cause I'm like, that's actually the connective tissue to all the other stuff, the hurricane warnings, the spaghetti models and all that stuff. That really is a connective tissue. And you've done a great job. And we'll get to Melissa here in a second. But, for people watching, and it doesn't matter how old you are and your kids and everything, I've said this a lot, and during Irma, I was doing the morning show at QIK radio in Tampa on a country station. And I remember talking about you on the air, and the program director saying, who's this Mike guy you keep talking about? Like, we have our own weather guys. I said, listen, you can have your own weather guys that come on here for 30 seconds and and then they're gone. I said, this guy's in front of a camera all day. He's passionate about what's going to happen to this area. But I always tell people, you were one of the original creators out there that just started talking about something you loved. And I think more people, they underestimate that in themselves. It's available. It's possible. And I think you're one of the original guys out there. I hope people tell you that.
They do, and I think that my biggest thrill, and my wife will agree, and my kids, is the connect. You know how this connects us, like with fans. I mean, they don't care about weather. Like my non-weather posts are 10 times engagement than weather posts, and I think by sharing so much, it's made me appreciate life even more. Like because other people are living the same. You know, they might have a kid with Down syndrome. They might have a kid away from college they can relate to, or, you know, it's just, it just brings people together. You know, there's a lady at Talladega that saw my Daytona post, and she's like, you know, she told her husband, we got to go camping again. And they went and got a camper, went to Talladega. And she said, so, you know, those connections that you're making with people, you don't realize. And it just inspires you, man. I mean, it's weird. It's an addiction, but
you hit on it. Mike, Mark and I actually, we've done radio for a long time, and that's really the specialty that radio used to have, is that personal touch, that feeling of a friend that you don't get on the news, you don't get on the Weather Channel, and you certainly don't get that now really on radio anymore, but you've really touched that nerve of being in the community, helping the community, and providing something that's I mean, it's life or death sometimes, so it's just incredible.
That's a weird thing. I mean, I never dreamed, you know, and locally we have some great Mets here in Tampa. I mean, Dennis is really, you know, him and I have become really close friends, and he naturally does it too. I don't think he tries. And, but you got to love what you do. I mean, that's the difference. I think, for some reason it just clicked for me, and I enjoy it. I you know, I never dreamed in a million years I'd be doing this. I mean, I was like everybody else. I was reading day trading books. I was buying crap at the thrift store, trying to sell it on eBay. You know, Julie, we laugh about like this. We're like, we paid credit card bills with for car payments. Like I was struggling one day. I'm like, what are we going to do? Like, you know, I mean, and then, you know, you love what you do, and you things hopefully happen, you know.
Well, and I think it's just great, even just sharing that, Mike. It's nice of you. It's human of you. Like I said, talking about your family, and you know, I have 5 kids. My youngest has autism. You know, we're a special needs family. I talk about that a lot because there was a moment in my life not long ago. He's 8, not long ago, where I, you know, would wake up and watch the ceiling fan turn and going, what's going to happen in my life? I can't move for my career anymore. I'll take it one step further for weather wise. I mean, we are a family that we really can't evacuate. I mean, it's just, that's the level of his autism. It's very, it's complicated. And so when storms, you know, and it's not just me, there's a lot of other people with a lot of issues. And so it's really top of mind here. And so what you do is good. And it's nice to, you know, it's nice to see a guy on the screen who loves it like you do, but you're also the kind of guy that's like, you know what? I think I'd go have a couple beers and a couple shots with him too. That's pretty damn cool. Like, I like that aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Well, you mentioned, so like Julie and I, when we had Sarah, I probably relate to what you just said is, you know, 6 months in, you know, Julie wouldn't let me take a picture of her. I was covering her up going into the mall. And I mean, it hit us both one day. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you know, it changed us. And one thing that the weather page has taught me too, is like, I don't care what, like going back to the political side that you jumped on too, right? I could care less. Like people cancel me because I shared Kid Rock lyrics one time. And I'm like, do you realize I'm a bigger Jimmy Buffett fan? He was about as left as you can get. I'm like,
yeah.
So I'm like, I have become, you know, and having special needs taught me, I'm so, you know, and I'm sure you're the same, you know, tolerant of people, understanding of people. And, you know, the world that we live in, man, I just, the things people get worked up about, man, I'm just getting too old for that.
I am too. I don't know why you pay the monthly bill for the phone and the internet to use it like that, just to get angry. And, you know, once in a while during the week, I'll do just a quick like weather update, and I'll grab a screenshot from your page and I give you the credit because you're doing the work. Man, it's at least half a dozen messages within 20 minutes. There you go again, trying to get everybody worried. And this, and I'm like, what do you mean get everybody worried? I'm just like I'm just talking about what's being talked about. And people just, I mean, they lose their damn mind over this stuff.
Well, and I'm friends with Matt Devitt down in Fort Myers, and he just posted the other day all the hate comments he got on one simple post, you know. And I tell you what has changed for me, though, is I can almost understand where some of this is coming from with people. You know, I think after last year and then these preseason predictions, like, you know, it gets people so worked up and scared, and then it doesn't happen, and they think everything's being hyped. And so I've changed a lot of my messaging. Like I work so hard on just every word, like trying to stay neutral. Like today, like Florida, I wouldn't ignore Melissa. Like, I'm not saying it's coming to Florida, but like don't forget it's there, because historically we've had storms come a little more west, and so yeah, you got to be, it's a touchy world out there.
It is, and I do the same thing. I'll catch myself. I'm trying not to act out, but I'll catch myself and I'll go, "Oh, that might be a thing, won't it?" And I just have to say, "Well, then just let it be a thing." Because I kind of have a rule, right? It's called no bad intentions. If I went into something with no bad intentions, man, I'm letting it fly. I'm letting it roll, and that's just I can't sit here all day and sweat about everything that everybody. I mean, the one woman, this was like a month ago. I mean, she put out a video about you, and I had to jump in to take your back because I was like, this woman's lost her mind, but. In a sense, though, I also think, well, let's not interrupt other people when they're showing us who they are. So I think that was kind of a good thing. And I think maybe you amassed thousands of TikTok followers.
Well, I agree. And, but then there's a part of me that says that's how, that's what they think. And I'm like, we think this way. And it's like, but yeah, I guess that one hit a little hard because they started going after Emily and just talking about Sarah, and I'm like, really? Like, leave it. I mean,
yep.
But that's
some people. It's really actually shocking as a human to see what others will actually put out there, thinking that everyone is like. I mean, you're just like, dude, you're the only one on planet Earth that's thinking this. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, so before we let you go, let's talk about weather. We've got Tropical Storm Melissa. I got to tell you, my wife's name Melissa. Guys, let's not let our guard down with this one, folks. Let me just tell you, I have no weather training, and Mike knows 9 billion% more than most of us about weather. But if I can just infer, Melissa, this could be a tricky one. But what do you think? What do you think?
Well, yeah, Allman Brothers had a good tune, "Sweet Melissa."
Sweet Melissa, yeah.
But yeah, it's so there. I laugh because I talk about the MJO a lot. MJO is in a very phase that shouldn't have storms popping. Like models like the Google GraphCast model is showing nothing, and the UK showing nothing. But then here we have something. So this makes me laugh because models, sometimes you got to watch things in real time. Like this one bubbles, you can see it. It's feeding off that water. It's got convection. And that's kind of fuels what I'm doing with looking at everything, looking at history, looking at, because the models have just become, I think, really unreliable. We saw that with Aaron. A lot of them were coming towards Florida. And what was that last one? Ernesto, they did a state of emergency for South Carolina, and they didn't even get a rain shower.
Yeah.
But this one, it's going to sit down there. There's a high pressure to the north. High pressure spin clockwise. It's fascinating. These are things I didn't really know in the beginning days, but because there's a high pressure to the north, there's a roadblock, and the high pressure actually is going to help it drift a little bit to that west. And then we have a Halloween cold front coming down, which everybody's talking about. Those typically open up a gap and lift and turn a system. So it's all a timing thing when that happens. And by then, it could be a major hurricane. So it sucks for people cruising like next week, because Bahamas are probably going to be shut down. We're talking about a possible strong hurricane, and it's going to be really close to Florida. I mean, every time I see those ensembles, South Florida, there's a couple of them getting close, and the Euro's kind of that way. So it'll be a lot to watch the next couple of days.
Fair to think maybe at this point that this is probably it's incredible that we're, October 21st, but is this probably the first thing worth watching that we've seen all season?
Well, for sure, as far as impacts. I mean, and then there's a few of them that are actually going around that East Coast, Sandy vibes. It was around this time Sandy ran into a block. So this time of year, we get these rolling high pressure systems and cold fronts. And Sandy ran into one of these high pressure systems, and it was either going to go left or right. It ended up going, left, west. And so this is the time of year that things get tricky. And for sure, like, Nicole was in 22, and that was a November hurricane that hit the East Coast of Florida. And I mean, I think people get so overwhelmed with this hype and 24/7 coverage, including from me, that they just think the season's done. But in reality, we've had incredible systems in the past, in October, November. So we just got to keep our eye open. But this one's definitely going to keep a few people on their edge of their seats.
That's good.
Before besides what the
Good to know. I mean, it's October 21st. We haven't even had a tropical storm watch. I'd be interested in seeing, out of the last like 20 years or so. That's got to be somewhat rare, wouldn't you think?
Well, yeah, Arizona. So here's a funny stat for you. Arizona and New Mexico and California have been in the cone this year 6 days, and Florida's been in the cone 3 days, and that was the top of Florida. So
that's like hard to like,
Yeah.
Now I have a reason to drink my beer tonight. I'm like, that's because I'm like, oh, okay. But that's like my statement. 2025 is 2025. And I think,
yeah. Well, New Mexico's been under the cone double than Florida. I mean, think of that. And then Hawaii just got major impacts from a leftover storm, and Hawaii was tracking a storm. So but after last year, but it's not a matter of if, it's always when. I mean, and I think one common theme that I see is the expectation of a really busy season based on what the media goes through with these preseason predictions. And but if you think back, 22, we only had 2 systems hit the U.S. that year. It was Ian and Nicole. Nobody said that was a slow year, but only 2 systems hit the U.S. 23, we only had 1. That was Idalia. So one, it only takes 1, and that's what I tell people. Like, I think everybody assumes when they say 16 to 18 storms, it's going to be 16 storms hitting Pinellas County. No, it's 16 named storms. 14 are probably fish storms. So we gotta. I don't know. The preseason hype just gets. I always call it hurricane hangover by this time of year. I mean, you're done with it. It's fall. It's football. Leaves are changing. Nobody wants to talk about the tropics. And that's probably the most.
Right. That is funny. Yeah. It's almost like sometimes the weather gets put into agendas based on what else is going on. And this may not be convenient for the national stories, but nonetheless, here we are. And look at last year. I mean, Helene comes through, and I think everybody thought, at least my neighbors, and I fell victim to it, is like, all right, we just went through hell and we're just going to have to rebuild. Boy, 7-8 days later, we're back in the dark. And I mean, it was surreal.
Surreal.
I wish I had better words for it, but I just, we spent 3 out of 4 weeks with no power. I mean, it's hard to believe. I'm
with you. It becomes numbing. I use the word numbing because, like, even when I went up to the Panhandle with Helene and seen, 200 homes washed off their foundations right after it happened, you don't really realize what you're looking at. Like, now I look back at the video, I'm like, oh my God. But at the moment it's happening and you don't really realize it, so that's why, I think one thing with my messaging, seeing this kind of stuff has really changed, like letting people know this is what it's going to be like. This is what it's going to look like. Like, I was that guy sitting on this bench, almost cheering storms. Cause until you see one, you're like, everybody has a little adrenaline rush thinking it's exciting, and, but now seeing it and showing people you're going to have Katrina style surge. I mean, National Weather Service telling people put axes in their attics now as part of their hurricane plan.
That's unbelievable. Did you watch that? I know I got to let you go. Did you watch that documentary, the Katrina documentary?
Yes. Oh my God,
man.
Yeah.
That was like, it's hard to watch something that happened so long ago. And I got like the same lump in my throat watching years later. I mean, it was like they're pulling the attic covers off and people are floating out. And I'm like, I mean, I felt awful watching it, but I guess I don't know. I don't know what the good part of that was, other than that we have to understand weather, respect weather, get ahead of weather as best as we can. But boy, that was emotional for me. It really was.
Yeah, there's a video that I always run across. I don't really have to leave it at any specific. I'm on Fox today, 1:15, by the way. That's all I got to get kind of like ready for.
Is Fox weather, right?
Today on Tuesday, yeah.
Okay.
But I saw a video of some local Louisiana folks that, with their accents and the progression of them going to the roof and then seeing that final scene when they're on the tip of top of their second, floor roof, and just seeing all the peaks out there. This was in Mississippi. People forget, the levees were bad, but they still had 20-foot surge in Mississippi and parts of Alabama there, from the surge that was non-levee. And to think that Ian had similar and 200 plus people died. I've run across a lot of comments about, I was here for Charlie, and that's where the messaging has to be better, because they went through Charlie. It was a teeny weeny little storm with no storm surge, and the eye wall was tight. Ian was 5 times the size, and it's a different animal. And people waited to the last second because this storm means a lot to me, Ian, because it was tracked originally supposed to be west of Tampa Bay. And I remember that Saturday, my daughter was getting homecoming pictures, and I heard people in the background, oh, it shifted more west. We're good. Well, then that would have been Helene then, if it would have went to our west. But at the same token, it was supposed to hit that Friday, and it was going to hit as a weakening hurricane. So everybody in Fort Myers was hearing these talking points. It's going to weaken upon landfall because there's a front coming down and there's cooler water up there. It's going to hit on a Friday. Well, what happened was it turned. Now it was hitting on a Wednesday, and it was still a major hurricane because it was still feeding off that loop current. So it wasn't Friday. It wasn't a weakening storm. It was a powerful Cat 5 on approach on Wednesday now, and everybody got caught with their pants down, man, because then you go like, this is where I tell people to have a plan now, because we were in the same boat. Like you hear about getting a plan until it's too late. Then you're like, what am I supposed to do? Oh my God. And you're panicking and you don't know where to go. And road systems are backed up. There's no gas.
I mean, it's just, it's almost an impossible situation, and I remind people, it's funny you brought up your daughter and homecoming pictures. My oldest daughter, she just did her first homecoming. I'm not thrilled, because she's sitting there with a boy. I'm not happy about this. But anyway, I went and I put the biggest, most fake ass smile on at this picture thing you could ever have done. My wife's like, are you serious? You never smile like that. And I said, 'cause I'm mad. But anyway, I got over it. He was a nice young man, nice family. But we're on Reddington Shores, and I'm like, people are still living in trailers to get back into their house. I mean, this is, it's not a third world country. And I tell people they're still living in trailers, and it's a lot. Let me ask you real quick about, and I know some of our other guests are waiting, and I apologize. But the reality is we don't have bosses, so we can do what we want, and we love Mike, and we're going to get to you guys, and we love you guys too. But I want to ask you about Helene. I got to tell you, I actually, we went to a hurricane. I mean, I'm just going to be honest, because Helene's coming and it was windy in the afternoon, breeze, all that stuff we kind of love. It felt really good. And they're like, this thing's 120-ish miles out. Okay. And is the warning systems, are they going to have to change? Because I don't think it can anymore be, it's 120 miles out, don't worry about it. It seems like something's going to have to change. I don't know if that's from the Hurricane Center. I don't know what it is, but it seems like no longer can we just say, over 100 miles out, no worries.
Right. No, that was, so 2020, we had Ada pass Pinellas County, and I was storm chasing that. And I saw hundreds of homes flooded in Madeira Beach and Reddington area, from a passing 60-mile offshore tropical storm. 2020, it was in November too. So when I started seeing these tide markers and gauges double that, I mean, I was freaking out. And my wife will tell you, or she'll tell you, it was for the truth. I was calling people and they were like laughing at me, like, you calm down, like you're going way too. This ain't gonna happen. It's I believed it. I just don't think people could believe that could happen. And again, we're focused on that cone. It's a skinny little cone because the track was pretty solid. But again, going back to Ian, the messaging. So we got to do better. Agree with the messaging. Every storm's different. I just think there's got to be education. A lot of what I'm able to do is use real life, past experiences. This is what happened then. This is what we got now. You add it up, we're in trouble. And I don't think TV can do that, and because they're afraid of being wrong. That's the bottom line. I think people are afraid to be wrong, so they underhype it sometimes.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I do. Yeah. And as a guy that gets a lot of feedback when I talk about you and your content and your work and your conversations, and I mean, people coming after me, and I'm just like, hey guys, we're having a discussion. I've never seen an era of people so offended by conversation, yet all I hear about is everybody should have conversation. Then we start having a conversation and it all hits the fan. So I'm confused sometimes.
That's all.
Mike, thank you.
You got my number now. So whatever, we can do it all. I love to talk. My youngest says, Dad, you like to talk. You talk a lot.
Well, you're with a couple other guys here like the same. So yeah, we'll do that. And let's
drink beer, Mike.
Yeah, we'll go have some beer.
I think we can do that live from Tampa Bay Brewing Company. I know the owner, David. We could set up right there with the taps behind us and do a late night.
Love it. Love it. Let's lock it in. Well, we got each other's number now. We'll stay in touch.
All right, guys.
Thank you for your work, man. Thank you for coming on. Have a great hit. Fox weather. What time was that again?
1:15 Eastern.
1:15. So just about 30 minutes away on Fox Weather. I appreciate you, Mike.
Yeah, man. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Take care.
That's Mike from Mike's Weather page. You can find him via all the socials. He's super active on Facebook. And I like his stuff on TikTok too. So great lesson out there for people. Guys, grab your phone. If you're passionate about something, grab your phone, authentically speak into it and talk your damn business and love every second of it, because that's what can happen.
I'll tell you what my dad told me when I was getting into radio. If you get a job, if you find something, if you're lucky enough to love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And there were many times at the radio station, boy, we would look at our mailbox and be like, they're still paying us to do this. I don't get it. But
yeah, it's it goes both ways, but I think overall you can come out ahead if you love what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, it's 12:40. We're way behind. Let's get to Anna is here. Anna, give me a minute, but I got to get to Ben. Anna, are you good for a minute or two?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Look like you're in your car. Let's get to Ben. Hey, Ben.
Hey, good afternoon.
Ben, welcome, and our apologies. I know we're a bit late, but we had Tropical Storm Melissa fire up, and Mike had some availability. He's a busy guy. He's in hot demand, so we had to do that. But I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's talk quickly, because we are under the time gun a little bit. But you are all things professional in. Look at this is. Now, this is very professional, Ben. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, this is big.
This is good. But, Ben, I'm kind of like that you didn't pull the trigger on the tie, because I want sort of a casual guy like can just talk English to me. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So, you got to dress for the event, right? If I'm out on the beach showing property, I'm not going to dress like that. But if we're looking at commercial space, probably catch me in a suit and tie. And also it's going to be weather dependent.
Yep, that's a good point. So let's talk a little bit about real estate. What I keep hearing now is like real estate's in shambles, right? And everybody's stressed out and homes won't sell. There's your commercial property with for lease signs. And I think, it's funny. We were talking about weather, and then you get some of the hype with weather. I think there's probably some hype in real estate. You would know better. But talking about Pinellas County, where are we? If you have like a quick thesis statement about where the real estate world is right now.
So this morning I was just going to hit on commercial real estate.
Yep.
So I'll give you a quick breakdown. So in the residential market, we're seeing homes sit a lot longer. However, sales have picked up because interest rates dropped. They will continue to drop the rest of the year. And there's a lot of home buyers sitting on the sidelines. So if you're in the residential space and you've been waiting the entire year for rates to drop, you're going to be competing with other buyers in the next couple months, especially after the holidays. I'm not saying this, nationally, this is, where economists and folks that look at the big real estate data is, but specifically in Pinellas County, going back to our hurricanes, so we lost a lot of inventory on the beaches. We know a lot of folks are still rebuilding. Folks are looking for homes that are not in flood zones. Typically newer or remodeled construction. A lot of folks, unless you're in the construction and renovation business, you don't really want to be doing a remodel on a home, especially with your family, kids and wife. So move-in ready homes, non-flood locations, central locations to get to Pinellas, St. Pete, Clearwater. Those homes, we're actually seeing those go off market real quick. And then actually, depending on the home in Pinellas County, we're actually seeing multiple offers on homes priced really well. So the narrative that, yes, homes are sitting longer, but the right property is getting picked up quickly.
Yeah, I said, after the storms, I'm like, oh, I'd never live on the sand. I'm just not going through that. And now I'm like, well, I'm just lying. I would love to live on the sand. I mean, it's funny how it wears off. It's just like, because, it's funny. I went down to the beaches the other day and I'm looking around and I'm like, if this ain't heaven, man, it's unbelievable. And I wonder if we're going to have kind of that snapback effect of everyone like, no, it's too much, especially if this season stays quiet or soft. I wonder if people will go, okay, that was a fluke. We got double sucker punched in 8, 9, 10 days. That won't happen again. I wonder if there'll be a kind of a snapback. Yeah. And then the other thing is, Ben, is I know a lot of people, and it's just me. I say a lot of people. I know like 5 people, but whatever. Everybody thinks that's a lot of people, but who their homes are being rebuilt. It's going to take a while. The permitting was a pain in the ass, everything, whatever. So they've bought homes, a mile or two inland. They're going to dump those homes when their homes are ready to move back. So I wonder if there'll be a bit of a sale on some of the homes that are being occupied now because, the home's going to be ready to go.
All right. So a lot of good points. Let me try to unpack that a little bit. So we've got, you said earlier about we need to have a good hurricane season. What I mean by that is typical rains, storms, and hopefully no direct hits. If that happens, a couple things will happen. We're going to see demand increase for residential real estate. We need insurance companies to get back into the Florida market. So that's a big driver. A lot of folks are selling their homes. They've only had them a few years. Insurance rates went up. The other thing we're seeing is homeowner association fees are going up, cost, taxes. If we're tight on time, but would love to discuss what DeSantis is doing with trying to eliminate real estate taxes in Florida. But
well, you're just trying to fill my email inbox up, aren't you?
Yeah.
Right. He's like, I'll tell you, you're late to my interview, buddy. I'll drop DeSantis and you're going to get 9,000 emails.
We'll be there till next Thursday.
Well played, Ben. Well played.
It's a lot of positive things that are coming. So if we have a calm storm season, we should see those insurance premiums go down. So there are folks that do want to live on the beach, just sold some property on the beach. But if we have a few minutes, I do want to hit on commercial real estate because that's something that doesn't get talked about a lot in Pinellas County.
Yeah, we just have about 90 seconds and we'll have you back for the commercial. But yeah, can you give us kind of a general overview of the commercial? There's people moving out of state or moving from out of state. They're bringing companies. But like you said, there's people in Florida that are trying to start companies. So what is the dynamic right now of the commercial?
So residential, you're seeing a large supply. There's only so much good quality commercial office medical space. So you have out-of-state doctors, physicians coming in. Most of the time they're looking for Class A, Class B, but some of this Class B office is being repurposed. So a lot of work from homes, folks are getting office space. They figured out that they can't run a multi-million-dollar company from their home office. Some folks can, some can't. I was running my business out of my home office during COVID. I now lease commercial space. I've grown in the last 5 years. So businesses like marketing, unusual businesses that you normally run from home, you're seeing them take office space. And then because there's only so much available in Pinellas County that's good quality, demand is going up, and we don't have that much supply. Your typical attorney, doctor's offices, professional service business, those are still using office space, but we've got other hybrid uses for office space. I can get more into that when we have time.
No, you make a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because we are now 5 years out of the COVID era. And I think you're right. There's probably somewhat of a wake up culture of, yeah, we did this home thing. It was cool for a while, but now, it's probably time to get serious, get back to work. And you did hear those rumors where the companies were going to abandon all of their real estate, let everybody work from home. I don't think that experiment worked great overall for a lot of people. And while they may have downsized some of their commercial units, maybe they figured that they were, there was too much space or certain sectors of their business were unnecessary. I think that the vibe you're seeing now is people are getting back together. Again, some of the people I talked to are like, oh, no, it went from home to hybrid to now full-time in the office. So I think that's probably indicative of where we're going with a lot of the commercial. Before we let you go, Ben, where can people find you?
I got my social media website, Metrano Real Estate Group. If you look at Instagram, Tampa Ben Real Estate, shoot me an email, ben@metronogroup.com. Appreciate you for having me. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Ben. I think Tina reached out to connect the dots. So thank you to Tina.
Thank you, Tina. Yes.
Tina did a good job. I can give you a little bit of credit, Ben. You showed up, but Tina connected the dots. So that was cool of her. Thank you, Ben, and we'll get you back on. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Take good care. All right, that's Ben. It's interesting with it's very unique, as he said, in Pinellas with the real estate because a lot of it really is indicative of the storm seasons, and we saw last year how that just totally rewired the real estate business, not just residentially but commercially. I mean, how many businesses?
Well, you've found a spot. down there. We were looking for a place to kind of do Pinellas podcast and the near Pinellas promotions and stuff, and it was not easy.
Not easy at all. And, and again, dealing with a building that had some storm damage, and they were waiting to get that addressed before they could bring new people in. So it's hung up everybody in all facets of life, which is probably a good segue here to talk to Anna about business, about hurricanes, and the iconic Seahorse restaurant on Paso Grill. I got to tell you, it was one of the first places after my youngest son was born. We went and, years ago, but gosh, what a unique feel that is to be on Paso Grill at the Seahorse. You can't replicate a restaurant right like that. It makes me a little sad to say that because it's been gone, but Anna, welcome and give us the update.
Oh, hi. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, your time.
Sure, of course. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate your time. What's new with Seahorse and where are we in the comeback?
Okay, so after a long year of trying to get the permit and becoming a historic building, we are under construction right now. Everybody's asking, when is the opening day? When is the opening day? And we keep, having a set goal to open day, but then something happened with construction and we're moving it back a little bit more. For right now, we're looking probably by the end of November, beginning of December, if everything goes well. We are trying to put it back as it was before, the most of it, like the tabletops are coming, the booths are coming. People are interested if there's the tabletops are coming. We have a couple decor that we were able to save from the storm. And everything, we've been doing everything as much as similar can it be back to what it was. And of course, we have to do new codes, new electrical, new plumbing and all that stuff. But when it comes to the look, it seems like everything will come like it was before. It may be a little bit changes, but we'll try our best to put it back as it was.
Well, it's great to hear. From the pictures I saw, I mean, it was devastating. I honestly, if somebody, said bet if they'll reopen, I'll say there's no way you can reopen. I mean, the pictures were unbelievable. Real quick, talk about the damage. What did you feel like when you first went to see it after the storm?
Well, my heart was broken. When I see it, I was like, we're not going to be able to, put it back together. It was like the walls were gone. We got about 6 feet of water on the front of the dining room. And then we have 4 feet of water on the kitchen. Everything was gone. Equipment, everything like you can imagine. Our walls were gone, our windows, even our waiting area kind of went all the way to 11th Avenue. And that was a couple blocks from the Seahorse. And it was very devastating seeing the way it looked. But, after a while and kind of take time and breathe and be okay, how are we going to get this, and we had so much support from our customers. And I think that was the biggest thing that it kind of gave us the little push to okay, we're going to do this again. It wasn't because okay, I think it was more because there was so much history and people the locals, the customers, there were so many traditions that they had. And I was just don't want to let it go. It was already going to be so many change with all the houses being demolished around, with all the business closing and open. I just want to have that little piece that represents Paso Grill for so long and have all the people that always come to the Seahorse bringing back all those memories. We have so many families that comes generation after generation, and it's just like a tradition, and we cannot just lost it in the storm. We have to bring it back. This is something that we really care more for. The food or the experience is more like the community that we have down there. Wow,
it's impressive. And am I seeing this right? 1938.
Yes, we've been there since 1938. It has been owned by two previous owners. The first one had it for 30 years. The Hollenbach, they had it for 42 years. They're still the landlords of the building, so we're working together. We took over 3 years ago. My husband worked with the Hollenbach for 20 years. And after they decide to retire, they give the opportunity to my husband to step up in the business. So we like it the same way. We really like the whole community, the vibe, the tradition that he had. So we keep it the same. We were running for 3 years, and the storm happened, but the Hollenbachs and we are very thankful that they put in the money and the time to put it back together, and we're working together to put it together.
That's
Anna,
good.
did you guys have a chance with this new rebuild to add something that you didn't have before and kind of upgrade, or is it pretty much exactly as?
Well, the layout is basically exactly the way it is. It was an old building, so we were having the time to upgrade plumbing, electricity, some AC, because like in our back of a kitchen, there was no AC. And so, yeah, it was like...
Not in the middle of a Florida summer, boy. Goodness.
Yeah, believe me, our cooks will be thankful for that, because there was no AC in the kitchen. And my husband worked there for 150 degrees in the kitchen with 3 grills and no AC. So now that we're able to start all over again, the first thing they were like, AC on the kitchen, please. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So that was nice that we were able to do some upgrades for our team members, because there were little things that our team members needed to have a better workflow, and we did hear their suggestions, and we put a little bit things to make the workflow a little bit better for them.
Well, that's great to hear. And how is the real quick, and I'll let you go. How has it been with the local government? I mean, I know it's not easy anywhere, but I mean, give me the temperature on that.
Well, I will say that has been challenging. It took us over 9 months to get permits, and then after
babies have been born, and you guys are trying to rebuild your business. I mean,
exactly. And up to now, we still have some little hoops that we have to jump and able to get it ready. There was okay, you cannot have the inspection if you don't have these regulations. And I'm like, it's just a simple thing, for example, they were not allowed to do a whole inspection if we didn't have a front door. I was like, you don't have a front door, you cannot have an inspection done. I'm like, okay. So we have to wait for our front door for a couple more weeks, and it was for us to have an inspection. It was very challenging working with the city, but I guess patience is something that we all have to learn, and I was like, okay, I'll just breathe and keep working and try to solve every challenge that comes with it. And we're working. I mean, it seems like now that we have all the bigger things done, the little things that don't need a lot of inspection, so it's moving forward a little bit more faster. But it was a very challenging year to work and put it back together.
Well, nothing good is easy, man.
No, it's
exactly.
not. Keep us up to date with working with the city. Let us know, because we can give them hell. So, just let us know. But no, I got it. The one thing I got to say, and I'm really happy to hear that this is coming back. I mean, it is an iconic establishment, and I love hearing that the landlords are working with you. But I got to tell you, just watching you talk, Anna, and your smile for what you guys have been through, you lost your whole business, essentially was washed away. But to see your smile when you talk about it is really, really inspiring. I mean, it's nice, and I hope you never lose that. And I hope people watching can see that, because, sometimes you got to go through hell, but it's how you react to it. But to see you here smiling, and I know the business means a lot to you and your husband. And
yes.
Please let us know. Give us a couple of weeks heads up so we can promote. I want that first week. I just want to line out the door. So let us know, please, so we can promote that for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I always look at something bad as a new beginning. We need a new things updated in the kitchen, and I think this was the right moment to do it. And I think, this is going to be even better than it was before. So I'm looking forward to see all our customers back, so our team members to be back. I know a lot of people wants to know if our team is coming back. Most of the people is coming back. I just talked to them last week. Everybody is coming back except for 1 or 2 person, but that says a lot from them to coming back to us, and especially being after 1 year without the restaurant, and they still wanted to come back to work with us. I really appreciate that too.
Yeah, well, you have a special place. You guys have made a special place, so that's why that's happening. Great for you. Give our best to your husband, and please let us know about the opening date so we can promote that for you. And don't ever stop smiling, Anna. Don't ever stop.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you.
Take care.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.
All right, then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, she's so sweet.
Oh, my goodness. I
Look,
mean,
can you imagine 150 degrees cooking up some stuff in the back?
I'd cancel my gym membership. I'd just cook there because you could just lose weight by working. You wouldn't need to go to the gym.
Yeah, and you can eat all that great food and still lose weight.
That's exactly right. I'm glad they're coming back, though. That's it's an iconic building, an iconic business. And, to see somebody like that, to smile and find the bright side of that, especially, it's been over a year now.
Yeah.
Gosh, I wonder sometimes how people, how do they live? How do they make it? But that's awesome. That's awesome. It's great news. We'll have to go out there and do something when they open.
Yeah, boy, I'd love that idea of getting a bunch of people down there. Give them a little send off for the new era.
Well, I'm glad they're gonna. So she said in November, end of November, maybe. So the season's kicking in. A lot of tourists coming in. That's going to help. So that's really good. All right, man. Great show. Appreciate this. And we should probably just real quick highlight our big event, our live podcast, November the 16th, Guilty Sea Sports Pub, Indian Rocks Beach. Now, the Bucks play at 1. We are giving away 5 smart TVs at halftime, courtesy of Mr. Gadget Smart Home Solutions. So he has the hookup on not only are they beautiful, beautiful smart Samsung TVs, they have the AI integration. So podcast will be live at 11, right?
Yeah, we're going to be live at 11. You can come on the show. You can sit there. We'll have spaces for anybody who wants to pop in there. It'll be a great chance to actually meet everybody that's been, we get a lot of texts, and thank you very much. We are so blessed to get all the text and all the messages from everybody saying they love the podcast. They want to be seeing us when we're out and stuff. So this is going to be a good final place to actually meet in person. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, and Guilty Sea. I mean, it's the best spot in this area to watch a game. They'll have great drink specials, great food specials. We'll be live at 11. Register for the giveaway by 1, and then we'll do the giveaway at halftime. Those 5 smart TVs, courtesy of Mr. Gadget. That's November the 16th, and the event is pinned at the top of our Facebook page. So head over there, hit interested, hit going. There'll be a separate contest for those of you that do that and show up. Go to the top of the page and do that now. Thanks again to Mike's weather page, all of our other guests. We're back next Tuesday. And
if you got anything,
I'm getting something, but I'm not. I've covered all the bases.
We had a lot today. You covered all of them. I'm very impressed. And in fact, you actually got through the segment where your wife is the same name as a hurricane, and as far as I know, didn't get divorced yet. So I mean, that is
tropical storm. I haven't heard from her yet. Yeah, that's tropical storm Melissa has formed, but we'll keep you guys up to date with that and more with Mike's weather page. Thank you again. Like, follow, subscribe, post, comment, and we'll see you guys here next Tuesday at noon for the Pinellas Podcast Live.
All right. Awesome. Have a great one. Thank you very much.
The Pinellas Podcast live every Tuesday at noon.